Hello everyone, and welcome back to Divinity Original Sin 2. In our last video, we started creating a custom module using the Game Master mode, and today we're going to continue that effort. So let's head on in to the Game Master and prepare campaign. We'll go ahead and load the campaign we started last time, if you remember, Troll Days. If you didn't catch that video, then go ahead and rewind now to episode 1 where we started this. We'll go ahead and load that campaign now and wait for that to start up. Okay, with that module loaded now, we see the map that we created last time, and we put a couple pins on this map for the road to Yorn and Yorn. If you remember correctly, the last time the player group is going to head to Yorn, but have a little stop off on the way as they run into an encounter. And the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to revisit that encounter and just kind of recap what's in there, but also we need to add a few things as well. Okay, so here is our level we had last time, and if you remember, this was a somewhat custom level that I started with that had the sort of crashed wagon here and things like that, and I had to use the editor to make some of this happen. And then we came in and added a few things of importance for the adventure, namely this book, which is the delivery manifest, which kind of leads the party towards Yorn and trying to find the owner of the wagon. And then we also had a couple of dead folks here, the wagon driver perhaps, and some muscle here to try and guard the wagon, even though it didn't seem to go very well. And then if you remember up the hill here, we had a dead person, a pile of dead person, and some trolls waiting in ambush. And so the idea is that depending on some of the decisions the party was going to make, and perhaps even some rolls that we'll make them roll during the encounter, that those trolls may or may not show up at the beginning. So this scene is kind of set up appropriately as is. During live play, these trolls we may wish to perhaps increase their level a little bit, maybe to level 2, depending on what we think the power level of the player group is. The encounter is not meant to be particularly hard, just kind of a little bit of a warm-up, so they don't have to be particularly tough, but an easy way to handle that is using the encounters here. And as we see, we have our horse and Soren and Magnus, and then these two trolls. And so what we can do, what we really should do, is go ahead and create a new encounter, and we can go ahead and rename this to the trolls so that we can keep track of that. And I want to go ahead and put my trolls in that encounter. And the reason why I want to do this, and they're already set to enemy because the first person I drug into the encounter was an enemy. The reason why I want to do this is it allows the GM to quickly decide what the level of these trolls is going to be when the players encounter them. You see, the easiest way to see it is from the health bar here, or I can select a troll. But you see the health of that troll is 64. If I hover over, you see their health bar. If I increase their level, that health bar would increase, but I can increase the level of the entire encounter, and those guys would be at stronger as I did that, right? And you can see it has a little 4 next to their pictures here. So I can easily and quickly, depending on what I think the group is going to want, make that encounter tougher. So those are there, ready to go for live play. The other thing I want to do is put some notes down here so that I or another GM, if they were running this, could easily understand what the choices mean here. So what I can do is I can use the stickies, and I can actually drag them out here and rotate them around with my mouse wheel, and I can put a little sign here anywhere I feel like, and only the GM will see this. And it can have some little notes on it about what's going on in the scene. The first one I want is Yeah, I actually want to move that over here. I actually want to put one right over here, make it nice and clear and obvious about the book, right? So let's see. I have some notes over here off to the side I'm going to grab. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to take these notes right here, and what am I going to call this? I'm going to call this investigating the caravan. So if you remember correctly, in our vignette, the group had an option to investigate the caravan or investigate search the surrounding area for survivors. And so this is kind of, hey, if they go to investigate the caravan, here's the kind of thing to think about for a GM. So it should be clear that it should be clear from the evidence here this was no accident. We want the party to find this book. The book indicates that the caravan was being delivered to Jarl Vincent. He's going to be interested in learning what happened. He's going to be key to advancing the story. And then after that, um, you know, after searching the caravan, your ears perk up. Some rustling in the tall grass alerts you to a nearby presence. Might this be a survivor, or perhaps the beast responsible for this atrocity? And so this is a great thing for the GM to just to know what's up next. So it brings attention to the book. It brings attention. It points out to the GM that the players should understand this is not an accident, and that they should be alerted to something nearby, which should cause them to then search for that, right? And then I want another sticky sort of up in this direction to describe, hey, what happens if they search the surrounding area, which they can do before or after visiting the caravan, right? And so if they search the surrounding area, I'm going off to the side here. There's a searching, yeah, there's a searching success and a searching failure. So at some point we're going to want to so this is search the surrounding area. And so what do we got here? Yeah, so I'm just going to paste this in and see if this is right text. As you search the surrounding area, your ears perk up. Some rustling in the tall grass alerts your nearby presence. A closer look reveals a pair of trolls. The pair seem somewhat small in stature. They might be adolescent or simply malnourished. Either way, you seem to have discovered the party responsible for what happened here, and they are too unawares to notice your approach. So this is, you chose to search the surrounding area, and this is a successful search. And I think the concept here is to get the players to do a DC, and it shouldn't be a particularly hard one. And I believe the stat used for that in Divinity is wits, I believe. So a DC 10 wits, and so here's, if you're successful, you search the surrounding area, you discover the trolls, but they don't discover you. And then again, going off to the side here, yeah, and so if you fail, whoops, not start trying to type over here. If you fail that search, you should get something like this. After a quick look around, you decide to return to the caravan and investigate. Just as you're headed back, a pair of creatures jump out at you. The pair seem as if to be trolls, only somewhat smaller in stature. They might be adolescent or simply malnourished. Either way, they look as if they've just found their next meal. And so there's the concept there. And yeah. So I just want to leave these two notes here, both for myself or any GM that decides to run the campaign. And this is probably something I'll try to do a good bit of just throughout, because I could use these notes just as much as anybody else could. And I think that gets us where we need to be for this scene. So I think we're done with this one. So on that note, what we want to do is we want to go back to the map, and we want to build out our Yorn, because after they've done this encounter with the trolls and on the road, uh, the next logical step is for them to continue on to Yorn, which is where they were headed to begin with. And so over here on Yorn, we can't load this level because we haven't actually bound any level to it yet. We stopped at the road to Yorn. So we need to go ahead and bind a new level to Yorn. And I have a level prepared for that as well. Let's see, yes, this one. And so we're going to go ahead and load it as well. Just like the road to Yorn, this Yorn level is a standard GM level, but the standard one, it was pretty bland and unexciting. And so I didn't rebuild a whole new level, but I took that level and I put it in the editor and gave it some life. And I wanted something a little more bustling, a little more active. And so I did a few things to have some people walking around. I got some animals. I got some kids chasing each other. Some workers in the street here, and things like that. And so this is our beginner Yorn level. And we want to go ahead and start using Yorn here to advance the story. And one of the first things we need to do is we need to create Jarl Vincent, the guy who owns that caravan that met with a tragic end. So we're gonna put Jarl Vincent right here. This is his shop, so to speak. And so let's go ahead and create an NPC for Jarl Vincent. Now, I think what I probably would do, I could come in here to archetypes, and pretty much any of these guys would probably do me just fine to start. Maybe we start with the trader. We could start with him. Yeah, let's start with him. Let's start with the trader. It's a good enough place to start. So we got our Jarl Vincent here, and he's pretty generic and bland. This is not much randomization here, but let's go ahead and start working with him to make Jarl Vincent. And so the first thing is he is Jarl Vincent. Visual appearance, we definitely want to work on that. Let's see what we get here. Kind of options. The options seem pretty interesting. I think I want to backtrack to, I think this one should do. We don't zoom in very far, and so the head doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot to me, but what he's wearing kind of does. So I want him to look like he's got some cash on him. This looks a little bit on the stylish end, so let's work with that. And some trousers to match. Anything? Not shabby. Not shabby. No. Yeah, it could be worse, but let's go with that. And the boots. Yeah. Yeah, that could work. Facial features, I think that's usually, the chin music. Yeah, that's not bad. But I want him to appear older, so we're going to have to go with some gray hair, I believe. Not white. Is there gray? Oops, wait. This gray hair is not bad. Let's check and see. Yeah, we'll go with something like that. And then something a little more stylish. This isn't bad. I don't want to stress over it too much, but yeah. Okay, so Jarl Vincent, and then we need to give him some inventory. He is going to be a central character to the quest, but he's also a vendor, and so he should be equipped as such. So I think he first and foremost he should have a little bit of stuff here, food wise, and then I think equipment. I can always clear this. Oh, goodness gracious. No, no, no. So let's go back to food. Give him food. Let's, no, I don't want unique. Let's go with common 3. Yeah. He's got food. Let's give him some more food. And we'll end up trimming that gold back because that's too much. Tavern, alchemy ingredients. What's in here? Yeah, this looks good. Okay. So we got a good bit of stuff here, but way too much gold. So we need to go ahead and split that out. I think something more along the lines of 500 and something ought to do for gold, and we'll get rid of that. So that's his ingredients. We got his appearance. Level 5's a bit excessive. Attributes I don't care a whole lot about. His inventory and skills and appearance. He's going to be an ally or neutral. Let's make him neutral. I don't care much about his AI either. I think that's not too bad for Jarl Vincent. So obviously the players are going to come here and talk to Jarl, and we're going to advance some story as a result of that, which we won't get into quite yet, because the next one I want to create is another character that will be important in the story, which is a character by the name of Thren Gulax, and he's going to be something along the lines of a what else do we have? I don't know. Let's give him so what do we got? Dwarf. What does this look like? And what does this look like? Kind of like this guy here. So let's start with this guy here as a Thren Gulax character. Level 5 is fine. So what we're creating here is Thren Gulax, and let's see what we can give him for hairstyle. I'll move the camera so I can see him in real time here. Okay, so yeah, that looks good. It's fine. Torso. What do we want him to look like? That's not shabby. I don't want World of Warcraft shoulders there. Arms. Yeah, I want him to have arms. That looks good. Trousers, I think they look decent right now. That looks a little better too, doesn't it? Yeah, this looks good. And then boots. Wow, pretty outlandish, isn't it? Yeah, I like that more better. Facial features, little chin music. That's not bad. A little darker. He's been out in the sun. And hair color, that looks good. Clothing, what do we got here? Looking for something dark, like a black would be good. If we have such a thing. Was that a black? No. Come on, there we go. There's a black, alright. And then trim it in like a red. I don't know, kind of like that. It works nicely. And you see Thren, I chose this bandit warrior guy, so they started him with a spear, and that's not really what I want. So let's delete that spear, and it took it right off his back. So the spear we saw on his back was the real spear. Let's go ahead and generate a spear for this guy. This guy is I don't want to get too far into the story for him yet, so let's not do that quite yet, but let's see what we can find for him. I want a spear, but don't know that I really like the one they had for him. So he's level 5, so I want him to have a level 5 spear. And let's create that and give him that one. So that works good. And then armor wise, I want him to have a piece of armor that fits for his appearance. I feel like leather might be right for him. Just got a few to pick from. I'm going to give him this one. Again, level 5. Let's go ahead and equip him with that one. And I think that ought to do for now. We don't need to get too far into it. So he's got warrior skills as well. That's all fine and dandy. Don't need to mess with it too much. And I don't really need to give him much in the way of inventory, but I am going to generate some gold. Oops. And then move that gold off here to my inventory, clear this out, and oops, no, he shouldn't have that much. Let's give him 100 and something gold. Let's go ahead and give him some gold. Let's see, attributes are all fine for now. Inventory, skills, appearance, all that's good. Thren Gulak's level 5. He's neutral. I don't know. Well, it seems like warrior AI would have been better for warrior, right? Yes. Okay. So there's Thren Gulak's. So he's a good start. He's going to have a friend as well. And I'm going to start him with this little dude. Whoops. Pause, please. Let's not have them kill each other. And I don't want to turn on peace mode. So what I'm going to do is, he's neutral, and this guy is probably enemy. So we set him to neutral, and that way when we unpause, they won't kill each other. So yeah, thank you. Now you over here, be nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's actually go ahead and fix this guy's health, put him back to full. Alright, all set. Now, this is going to be a friend for Thren Gulak's, and he is going to be Uncle Fester. And let's go ahead and mess around with his appearance. He's a dwarf. Let's go ahead and get a good appearance for him. What is this? Head? Oh, that was hairstyle, and this is head. Don't care too much about head. Try and give him an appearance that fits with what I want him to look like. No, I want him to have a shirt, that's for sure. This is not bad. The arms are okay. Trousers are good. That's not terrible. Let's see. Boots are not bad. Facial features. He's a dwarf. Dwarfs have to have a beard. So let's... Oh, that's a lot of beard. Yeah, you know that is too, but I kind of like it. Shouldn't be quite so tidy. I'm gonna go with that one. Skin, hair color. Black hair on a dwarf. So many dwarves have red hair. I want this dwarf to have black hair. Color. Yeah, so let's go with this. That color that was there was like a gray, but I really want it to be more black. I don't think that's quite black. It looks like a dark green, but it looks good, doesn't it? Let's keep looking. What? I really do want black. That looks like black. I think that's what I want. What is this one? Yep. Okay. I like the black look. Does this show up anywhere? Yeah. Yeah, so let's have a... Yeah. We're going to go with that for now. That looks good. I'm not going to worry too much about his equipment right now. And he's level 3, Uncle Fester, neutral. Okay, so there we go. And that covers it for this time. We'll go ahead and stop there and pick up next time, where we will flesh out a little more story and continue on. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.